Hello guys, welcome to this channel, and I'm thinking about starting a new series regarding Android application development in Kotlin. Yes, I've already done some videos on Android application in Java, but now I'm thinking about doing a series in Kotlin. So amid this COVID-19 situation, I'm trying to utilize my time and also trying to teach you something regarding Android application development, and we're going to do it in Kotlin. So the first video is going to be a very simple application where I'll be introducing a few concepts about how to use functions and also get some result using it. So let's start. So I have Android Studio 3.6.1. so start a new Android project, go for empty activity. Now next, I'm going to name it like my Kotlin app or something. Okay, and I'm going to have a separate place for these. So these are YouTube tutorials and then Kotlin. Okay, and then please select the primary language to be Kotlin. Okay, you can just choose finish and let the project build itself. Okay, now my Gradle is building. There are many folders and files being created here. I'll try to explain some major files and folders to you once this Gradle builds complete. Okay, now my Gradle build seems to be complete, so I'll take you step by step. First of all, I'd like to point you out that view here is an Android view. So the first file I would like to take you across is manifest file. This is like a controller of your application where you define your activities, some kind of server keys if you have, and things like that. And then you also, if you're also using some hardware, then you have to you have to ask for user request in order to use that also. So those things are also going to be based in manifest. Overall, this is the main heart of your application. And the second folder I'd like to point you is a Java folder here. Well, we're doing it in Kotlin, but the Android structure presents you with this structure. So the folder name is Java. The first folder inside Java you see here is our package name. You also see that in our manifest file, the package name here. Okay, inside package name we have our one activity called main activity. Remember, I told you your Android manifest should consist of name of activities in your application. I'll also come into detail about that later on. Right now, all you need to know is here's a main activity predefined for you, and then that main activity has been defined in your manifest in terms of activity. Let me take you to this category here. In category, you can see that the category name is android.intent.category.launcher, which means once you open your Android application, the first class that is going to be run, well, you're going to see the layout, but each and every layout will be associated with a class or an activity. So the first activity that is going to run there is a main activity. Well, in main activity you're going to see a layout which is associated in this way. I'll also talk about this later on, don't worry guys. So this layout is activity_main, and then you can also see a preview of this somewhere here. So this is going to be the layout that you're going to be seeing. Now, where is this layout folder? Let me go into res folder, your third folder here. We have few subfolders here. The first subfolder, drawable, you'll be keeping your image files, especially in the drawable folder. Your layout folder again will consist your UI files here as activity_main file is placed. The other folder is values folder, where you will be keeping your color definitions, your strings, your fixed string definitions, and also your application themes and styles here. The other two files I'm going to show you is Gradle file. Gradle file is a main building block of your Android application. What this Gradle does is it compiles your layout file or UI file, and then the class file and also the manifest file, and then builds a complete APK file from those. So if we see the first build.gradle all around project Kotlin app, these has all these dependencies, and then class paths. Here we have a Kotlin class path here defined. So yeah, this script is going to be applicable for all of your for your entire project. And then if we go to the second build.gradle file, well, this Gradle is going to be applicable for your application only here. So yeah, what I'd like to show you here is, here are some libraries or dependencies that we're going to be using. As you can see, we have used AppCompat library here, constant layout, which I'll come to later on, JUnit. These are actually unit testing libraries, which we're not going to talk about right now, but will come in the later section. Okay, so now let's not waste any time and then go on and build our UI. This first application is going to be very simple. We're not going to do anything complicated. I just want to show you how you can basically define your layout, how you can connect it to your class file, declare functions, or like how you can relate your components from your UI file and then introduce them in class file, and finally build a simple application on your own. So go to activity_main. Let me delete everything and then do everything from the base, so that you don't get confused like where I started. So hit a tag. Let's start with linear layout. I'll explain this later on, or like I might have explained this. I'll check it out if I have explained this in terms of Java also. You can go and check it out on those videos. I think I've already explained about these in previous videos of mine. So yeah, the first one is width, that is match parent. The width indicates this the length or the view from here to here, and then if we give match parent, it just takes the dimension of your screen and then fits it to the dimension of your screen. Similarly, the height, we should also occupy the entire height. As you see, now your entire screen is covered here. In terms of linear layout, we need an orientation. So like orientation is like how you want to arrange your components. In case of linear layout, your components can either be placed vertically one after the other or horizontally. So yeah, we're going to choose vertical here. I'll show you how it happens, or like how it works even if we place it horizontally. The other subcomponent, I think yeah, this is it. So now what I'd like to do is I would like to not end it there, but end my linear layout here. Now inside this linear layout, I'm going to define my components. So I'll start with a button here. So okay, button. Let me give a wrap content here. Okay, I'll explain it to you what wrap content does here too. So okay, wrap content. Let me introduce a text here. Also close this already. Okay, introduce a text here. As you can see, you have a button here now. So now if I write, suppose add my number, I'm not sure if you noticed this or not, but the screen size gradually increases, or the size of the component gradually increases as I increase my contents here. See, so yeah, that's what wrap content does. It takes your content, text content, and then arranges the size based on the size of that content here. So I just like to keep add here for now, because I don't want to make it any more complicated. Okay, and then I'm going to give an ID here. An ID is a unique reference by which the components in UI file can be associated with components in your class file. I'll talk about these also later on in detail. Okay, for now just remember the syntax. It's Android :id equals to @ +id / you can give any ID you want. So let me write btn head. Okay, if I add another button here, since my orientation is vertical, as you can see, so the second button is going to come exactly below the add button here. So I'll write text and subtract. Since it's a wrap content, now you can see there's a difference in the size of these two components here. Okay, and give it an ID of @ plus ID btn sub. Okay, I'd like to add two more components here to give our number. So give it an edit text. Edit text is a component where you can enter, where you can click, the keyboard appears, and then you can type contents in. So yeah, we're going to have two edit text to type two numbers and then either add the result or subtract the result between them. So yeah, the first objective of your application is going to be that. Okay, so I'd like to place match parent here. Okay, if you notice what match parent does in terms of height here is it looks for the I placed Android layout width equal to match parent. So now what match parent does here is it goes to its parent and then look how much width it is consuming. Since it's consuming the full width of the screen, hence the component will also consume full width of the screen. Suppose if I change this match parent to maybe 50 dp, as you can see, what happens is now this match parent will not consume the entire screen, but it will consume the screen consumed by its parent element. So yeah, match parent on the very top element or on the root element in this case is a linear layout. If you give a match parent, it looks at the dimension of the screen, but inside the root element, if you're placing components and if you keep match parent there, then it looks for the space consumed by the root element there. Okay, so yeah, don't get confused about that. I think it's going to be simple as you gradually go on doing this. I'd like to give an ID again because I'm going to need this. So let me write et first. Okay, and then I can also give a hint here so that you don't get confused while running the application. So enter your first number. So yeah, that's it. Now we can also change the type of keyboard that appears. So yeah, if you have noticed, whenever you're typing, whenever there's a field in applications where you have to type a phone number, then only the number screen pops up, and then where you have to write name, address and things like that, the entire keyboard or the standard keyboard layout comes up. So yeah, you can change that. You can change it using input type. Here we are only going to pass a number here, so it can be a number decimal too. So yeah, we're going to give number decimal. Okay, we have another edit text here. We need another edit text, so let it be match parent wrap content. The ID is going to be 80 second, I guess. Yeah, hint, let me type enter your second number, and input type again can be a number decimal. Okay, so I guess it's done. If we want to show the result to okay, for now we're just going to show the result in our toast message, which I'm going to tell you about later on. Okay, so our first application and the UI of first application is done. Now I'm going to show you how to connect this UI to your Kotlin class. So yeah, we go to our Kotlin class. If you're familiar with Java, then this syntax actually is public class main activity extends. Okay, the column represents extends, which represents inheritance, and then app compare activity. So app compare activity is a base class somewhere. Okay, and we're just extracting that class or like extending that class, which means we're extending the properties of that class to to be used in main activity. One point you should remember is any Android application always has to have at least one activity as a launcher activity, which means once you open any application, the first UI you're going to see is always associated with an activity. It at least has to has one activity, and that activity actually has a life cycle. I'm not going to go into details of Android activity lifecycle right now, but all I need to tell you is the first method we always need here is onCreate method. This here actually connects our layout to the class file here. So like our UI name is activity_main, and then the class we are trying to associate the layout file is main activity. So yeah, we just give set content view r.layout.activity_main. Now if you remember, we have 4 components in our layout. Let's go and check them. Edit text, 2 edit text, and 2 buttons. So let me define functions for the 2 operations that I have. I'm just going to write fun. Okay, now remember the syntax. So like add numbers, we're going to pass 2 arguments here. The first variable be a, which is going to be an integer, or float. I'm just going to give integer for now. Okay, we'll keep float because we're not sure what we're going to give here. Okay, float, and then b is also going to be a float, because we would be allowing some numbers like 2.5 or 2.7 or things like that. And at last we're going to insert a return type integer. Okay, so if you were writing this exact function in Java, this is how you would write it. Public integer, add numbers, float a, float b. So yeah, this used to be a syntax in Java. Well, that same syntax has been changed in this way in Kotlin. So what we want to do is we just want to return a plus b from here. Oh sorry, we would like to return a float number here. Sorry, float number, because our numbers are float. So again, another for subtracting our numbers, a float, b float, and the return type is again going to be a float. So return a minus b. Okay, so yeah, these are the 2 functions that we're going to be calling. So now we're going to place clicks on our 2 buttons, which are btn add and btn sub. So let's go ahead and then keep them here. So btn add from activity_main for activity dot set on click listener. Okay, this is how you place click on click listener. Okay, so on click listener is actually an interface here. If we go and check it out, on click listener is an interface which has a function void on click here. So yeah, we're going to write something inside that exact function here, void on click function. So what we want to do is we want to extract two numbers and then pass those numbers to this add function and then get the result. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to store the result in some variable var a equals to add numbers. So the first number I'm going to extract is from et first dot text dot to a string. Well, if you remember, the number we're trying to pass is actually a float, but we have extracted string. Well, edit text actually does not have any fixed data type. So at first we want to bring our numbers in string format, and then after that we want to parse it back to float. So float dot where is that function? Okay, so what we're going to do is dot to float. So it's done. Again, the second number is going to be et second dot text, which extracts the text from this component, et second here, from the second component, and then we're going to first convert it into string and then to float. So yeah, and after this we're going to display this message in a toast. So toast is like a pop-up message here, toast.makeText. We need a context, so we're going to give application context here, or we're going to be giving this simply in terms of message, since the data type here is float and we need to show a string message, so we're just going to concatenate with this empty string and then convert it into string, and then the duration of our toast message, so length short dot show. Okay, similarly I think you can now add now do your subtract operation. I want you to pause the video and then do it on your own, and then you can just resume the video and then see how I do it if you face any problem. So just pause the video and then go ahead. Okay, I hope you've solved it on your own. So yeah, I'm going to do it again. btn sub dot set on click listener. Now we are since it's a local variable, so I can do this. Sub numbers, I need two values, et first dot text dot to string dot to float, and then et second dot text dot to string dot to float. Okay, and then I just need to display this in our toast message again, toast dot make text. I want you not to copy this from above, but I want you to type it on your own, so that you get a habit around with this code. Plus a comma toast dot length short, okay, dot show. Okay, it's done. So this concludes our first application. If we look at the manifest here, our main activity is already defined. We haven't changed anything. So yeah, I think now you can run this application on your phone itself. So yeah, I have connected my phone here. My phone is shown here, Xiaomi Redmi Note 7. I'm just going to run this application on my phone. Just hit play. We'll wait for Gradle to build. I'll try to show you the screen if I can, but yeah, even if I don't, I'll just let you know if the application is running correctly or not, or like if I get any errors or not. Okay. Hey guys, sorry I could not show you my screen right now, but the application seems to be running perfectly fine. Well, you can try it on your own, and then if you run into any problems, you can just comment down below. You can subscribe to our channel so that you stay updated with every new videos that I upload. I'll be doing this almost daily because since I am in COVID-19 quarantine right now here in Thailand, so I have a lot of free time to do this, and then I want to share this knowledge with you through this medium. So yeah, just subscribe the channel and then hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any updates. Okay, so thank you for staying, thank you for doing this.